front here, I'm marking where the fretboard needs to line up with the back of the neck, and also double checking it, cutting it on the bandsaw, trying to get it as close to the line as I can. Alright, I put the template for the fretboard on there. Now we're getting ready to glue the neck with the fretboard. So I tape it up so I don't get any glue inside of the cavity with the truss rod. I'll pull the tape back. Set the fretboard on there firmly. What I'm doing right here is I'm basically clamping a piece of wood in the front and clamp another piece towards the back. Make sure we get it clamped up really good so it's a nice solid fit. So we don't have any areas whatsoever that comes loose. Put every clamp that I have. And I'll let it sit overnight for it to close up, get a really good seal on it. Now we'll check it the next day, which will be in a few seconds. Alright, it's the next day. We're going to go ahead and take all the clamps off and see how good the glue held up and make sure that we have a perfect seal for the back of the neck and the fretboard. Then I kind of go through here, take the sander and I straighten up the fretboard so it can be able to be flush with the back of the neck. And also try to trim a little bit more off the headstock as well. Alright, taking the flush tool, so we could just use a little bit more powerful tool on trying to get all of the fretboard fully flush with the back of the neck. And I kind of go back through and try to make sure we're looking really good and kind of smooth it up a little bit more. Then right here I am basically putting a nice curve onto the back of the neck. So then when I use hand sandpaper, I can get a nice C curve on the back of there. Alright, now is the time to radius the fretboard. I have a sanding block there that's a number 12. And make sure that the radius is at the 12 measurement between each time that I run it through. match it up with another neck that I have, just to make sure the sizes were about the same. And go back to setting the radius. I'm checking the fretboard radius as I go up and down it, trying to make sure that I'm not going too far, or make sure I go just right. Then I come back with sandpaper onto the back of the neck. Just make sure we get it really smooth. There were some areas that gave me some problem, but I'm able to fix it later on. But the back of the neck is not a perfect C, so the type of necks that I like is very, very thin. So I basically take the curvature of the C that you start off with, and then I almost flatten the center on the back, so it's a little bit more flat on the back. So when you put your thumb while you're fretting with your 4 fingers, it makes it a little bit easier to actually do that. Especially if you have shorter fingers than some of the spider ones that I've seen out there. So. I'm marking out where the frets are going to go with my multi-scale template. Use an X-Acto knife to basically go through every single line as straight as possible. So it makes a little indentation on the fretboard, so when I go back with the saw, I'm able to cut it through with no problem. And this is only a 24 fret, so I might do one that's a little bit more frets later on, because there's still a little bit of room down at the lower end of the fretboard to actually put a few more frets on the bottom. I have my fretting saw taped off, so I make sure I don't go too far down on cutting the slots, and then I'm basically just sizing it up with the fret wire. I do have a miter box for standard fretting, but I don't have one for multi-scale fretting, so it's a bit of a challenge trying to cut the fret slots out without having it clamped into a jig. Now I'm basically just pressing in the frets, cutting down the size, making sure that they're long enough. And through this process here, you'll definitely see me trying, picking up where the frets kind of popped up out of my hand. Thank you from Siphon Guitars for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe and comment, and I will reply back. Thank you.